bother fish.
You're scared to death of nature, aren't you? Scared to death. Isn't that interesting? You're afraid of the very thing that's keeping you alive and healthy. So here's the thing. Trusting nature, particularly if we're talking about something as benign as a fish tank, is the only reasonable way to go. I mean, you're going to try to play God, or you're going to try to invent a biological system that is sophisticated in every aspect, sufficient to be able to maintain living organisms in prime condition. Well, if you think you can do that with chemicals and equipment in a laboratory kind of environment, then I want to suggest to you that you need to get a better job, unless, of course, that's what you're already doing. That's very hard work. Maintaining a pristine, healthy environment without the benefit of natural processes. Natural processes like the breakdown of waste, like the cycle of life. Those kinds of natural processes. If you're trying to maintain an aquarium without that, then you're really playing God. And I wish you well in that. I mean, the fact is you can get away with it until you get so tired and so broke and so depressed and so utterly stressed out that you just can't do it anymore. Is that what a hobby is? Is that what this little blessing is for? To cause you stress, anxiety, grief, misery, sadness, and all the money in your wallet that isn't committed to rent and food and gas and the wife's entertainment? Well, here's the thing, guys. You can trust nature. You really can trust nature. I mean, think about it for a minute. This system that we're part of has been going on for, I don't know, billions of years. Billions, not just dozens, hundreds, thousands, millions, but billions of years. It's been going on. And it's done a pretty good job, all things considered. Now, I know I lived in Florida. For 32 years I lived in Florida. Florida is an absolutely lovely place to be. Until the big one comes. And then it ain't nice at all. And so the big one blows through and tears up everything. I had 2 friends lose their homes this last storm. Lost their homes. Now, one of them was a trailer. The other one was a $500,000 little cottage sitting on a creek. Beautiful brick and tile roof home. Rain got up under the roof, dropped every ceiling in it. Ruined the house. Yeah, right. Things happen. They happen rarely, but they happen. And what do you do when they happen? I'll tell you what I have learned is that when something happens in your natural environment and you take a deep breath and you do the minimum amount to straighten it up, not the maximum, the minimum. You do the least possible you can do to straighten it up in the most minimal way possible. Within a matter of days, it's back to normal. Really. There is no panic. There is no panic. There is no stress. If you set up an aquarium and you depend on nature to take care of that aquarium. Now, how do you do that? Well, you start by putting a layer of dirt in the bottom and fill it up with water and walk away to get your chair to drag it over and park yourself in front of it. And just stay parked in front of it. Lighting. Tell you about lighting. Most of my tanks, I leave the lights on 24/7. They're on all the time. With LEDs, there's virtually no cost. Not even pennies a day. I can light a tank for $1 a month. $1 a month. 24/7. Now, why do I do that? Because I know that that light is nowhere near the power of the sun. And so whatever light I can get in there from that mechanical device is going to be to the good. We have a little argument raging on Discord. Every once in a while it flares up. I take the position in it that fish don't sleep. They don't. There's all kinds of discussion about that. Well, you know, it's fun, and it's curious, and it's interesting. But the reality is, I've got lights on tanks 24/7. I don't notice that it causes a problem for the fish. It certainly does not cause a problem for the plants. Now, I know I'm kind of rambling on here, and there is a point I want to make. And the point is that nature really does know what it's doing, and it's got all the details worked out. You worried about this, worried about that? It's been dealt with. You think you can get ahead of nature? You think you can think through 3 billion years worth of development, maturation, sophistication? Please. You can't begin to scratch the surface of what nature is capable of. I mean, my God, it made you, didn't it? And what are you? You can't even maintain a fish tank without worrying about bacteria. You know how many tens of thousands of species of bacteria there are? A lot of them in your tank. Do you know what every single one of them does? Nature does. Nature knows what every single one of them does. And it's got it all worked out. I mentioned the book. We're coming out with the book. And the book is going to say, you think you got it figured out? Nature's got it figured out. All you have to do is bring in the basic elements. Do the best you can. And get them in your tank and then leave it alone. And let nature naturate. Let it take over and take care of it. You'll be astounded at how effective it is. The best tank you will ever have is the one where you put an inch of dirt in the bottom, put some supplements in with it, cap it with 2 inches of sand, put some water in it, stick some plants in it, put a light on it, put a couple of fish in there, and leave it alone. Now, I'll let you do this. Every week or so, you can add some leaves to it. And if you start by going out to a pond and collecting some leaves out of that pond and putting them in there first, so they're bringing in all of the life that the system needs in order to be able to thrive, then you can put some leaves in. That's food. That's how you're going to feed your tank, with the leaves of trees. First unit in our book is on the leaves of trees. Wait for it. All right, so I know how much you're in love with the father fish system. So I need your help with this. We're trying to get this program out to as many people as possible so we can frankly save this hobby, because it's under pretty extreme duress. People get all enthused. They go to a local big box store. They spend $300, $400, $500, bring it all home, set it all up, are so happy and thrilled. 2 days later, it's rotten. 4 days later, it's dead. What did I do wrong? And they go back to the same store that sold them that mess to begin with and say, what did I do wrong? Well, that's what they did wrong. They went there in the first place to try to do something that business has no intention of teaching them how to do. So they spend some more money. And within a month, the tank is sitting out on the curb. Right? Am I right? What's the percentage of people who fail? I know with absolute certainty it is more than 90%. This should be the biggest, most popular, most exciting hobby in this country, in the world. And I tell you frankly, in a lot of places it is. Those places where it's set up out of the backyard. It's set up with nature involved. And not all kinds of fancy, dancy, expensive equipment that does nothing of any particular benefit. Okay, do this, please. Go to our store, father.fish. You'll love that. www.father.fish. Get to know us a little bit there. Buy the supplement. You need the supplement. It really is critical. We're going to have a whole unit in the book on the supplement and why it's critical to being able to have a natural, healthy, dynamic tank. And then Hie thee unto Discord, the Father Fish Shoal on Discord. That's where the big fish are. That's where all the people are who are gathered around putting this whole program together. 1,000 of us. There are more than 1,000 over there right now, building a program to absolutely overwhelm this industry with the story of Mother Nature in your fish tank. Anybody who tells you you can't put nature in your fish tank, you know the person who is saying that really does not have a clue. They are frightened, scared to death of nature. Oh my God, nature. Oh. Please, please, trust Mother Nature. Click the button below. Hit the little bell. Make sure we can get these messages out to you on a regular basis. Get over there at father.fish and buy some dirt or plants or whatever. We can have mugs. I've got a mug here. We can got mugs. Father Fish mugs, mind you. And then stop in and visit Discord. Links below. You're gonna love it. Well, that's all for now, folks. See you next time around, which will be in a couple of days. We're knocking this thing pretty hard now. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers. Right now we're at 16,000. Need to get to 100. We're going to do it by the end of this year. Get on board. Help us. One more thing you can do. Hit that share button. The share button. That's the biggie. That's the one that gets this message in front of people who would never otherwise see it. Share. Sharing is caring. Share. Love you all. Bye for now. Right.